This is an extension lesson on two-step equations. So I kind of, again, created a checklist or rules for multi-step equations because you're going to get into situations in the future where you're going to have 2 to 3 to 4, however many step equations. So as always, the first step is identify the side with the variable. It could be the left or the right side. Number 2, look for the operation that is quote unquote furthest from the variable on that same side. 3, use inverse operations to undo that operation. 4, look for the next operation on the side with the variable. 5, use inverse operations to undo that operation. And then you're going to keep continuing that. If it goes into 3 or 4 step equations, you're just going to kind of continue that process. So let's go over 4 examples. I don't want these to be too long. Just going to go through the process of solving these. Done. Okay, so as always, first thing you want to do is identify the side with the variable, and it's on the left side. And if you need to, go ahead and draw a line, okay, where the equal sign is. It might help now that we're getting into multi-step equations to do that. And now on the left side where the variable is, what operation is farthest from the variable? So you have 2 things going on here. You have n being multiplied to 8, and then you have the addition of 7. And you want to go from the one that is the farthest away. So like one way of looking at it is that if you substituted a value for n, what would you do last? That's kind of what you want to do first. So if you substituted 2 in for n, you'd be multiplying the 8 first and then adding the 7. When you're solving equations, you want to go backwards from that. So adding the 7, the addition of 7 is the first thing you want to deal with here. And undoing adding addition of 7 is subtracting 7 from both sides. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And now these undo each other. You're going to get 0 from that. So it's going to be 8n is equal to 31 minus 7 is 24. Okay, and now you're just left with a one-step equation. You would divide by 8 from both sides. I like the fraction symbol, but if you don't like the fraction symbol, do division like this. But I'm so accustomed to using the fraction symbol, and you're going to see your future teachers are going to be doing the same thing. The 8s go away, and you're going to be left with n equals 3. And you can, as always, check to see if your answer is right. So 8 times 3 plus 7 equals 31. 24 plus 7 equals 31. And then 31 does equal 31. So you did the right thing. Let's do another variation of these because these can change quite a bit. As always, if you need to, draw a line. I'm not requiring it, but it really does help split the equation into 2 separate parts, making sure that whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Which side is the variable on? The variable is on the right side. And now, what operation is furthest from the variable? Is it division of 4 or is it addition of 2? In this case, it's the addition of 2, so you're going to be subtracting 2 to both sides. So you're going to have 4 is equal to a divided by 4. And now because this is a division of 4, you're going to be multiplying 4 to both sides. And you're left with a equals 16. And I always like to switch it around and rewrite it where the variable is on the left side. Some teachers really do require this. Okay, and as always, you can check your answer. So 6 is equal to 16 divided by 4 plus 2. 6 is equal to 4 plus 2, and this does work out. Next problem. So over here, this gets a little tricky for students. Students always get this one off. But what do you do first? If you were substituting 5 over here, you would do 5 plus 9 and then divide by 3. And that means in this case, we have to deal with the division of 3 first. So you are multiplying. Again, what is the farthest away from it? The fraction bar splits into grouping symbol. So this would be done first when you're substituting. That means when you're solving, the addition of 9 would be done last. So you're going to be multiplying 3 to both sides to undo that division of 3. So you're going to be left with v plus 9 is equal to 24. And now this should, again, as always, turns into a one-step equation. You're going to be subtracting 9. So v is equal to 15. And you can check 15 plus 9 over 3 is 24 divided by 3, which is 8. And that is what your solution you're looking for. So that is true. And last problem over here. You can go about this 2 different ways, and it really is a case-by-case situation. It depends on the type of numbers are there, and I will go over both of them. I'll do one in red, and I'll do one in a different color, okay? So the first thing you could do over here is distribute. So you can get 63 plus 7k is equal to 84. And now this turns into one of the earlier problems. What operation is the farthest away from the variable on that side? And in this case, it's going to be the addition of 63. And remember, this is a positive 63. If this was a negative 63, it changes the entire problem. For now, we know that this is a positive 63, so you're going to be subtracting 63 from both sides. And you're left with 7k is equal to 21. Divide by 7. So k is equal to 3. And now the other way of solving this, I'll do this in, not a blue, purple, okay? I'll do this in purple, right over here. So you're starting off with 7 times 9 plus k is equal to 84. And the other way of going about this, we distributed in this one. However, there is an operation that's happening over here. 7 times 9 plus k. So you could easily divide both sides by 7 in this step. So what that means is that you got rid of the 7 on the outside from the onset. And you're going to be left with 9 plus k is equal to 12. And then you would keep continuing. You subtract 9 from both sides. And you're going to be left with k is equal to 3. And I really don't prefer one way or the other. In fact, I interchange them all the time as a teacher. Sometimes you're going to be dealing with fractions. Sometimes you're going to be dealing with decimals. You're going to realize that one way is an easier method. It involves less complex numbers than the other way. But do the one that actually makes much more sense to you right now. And then when you progress into Math 7 or wherever you are next year, you'll get more comfortable with solving equations like this. I hope this helped you with the beginning stages of 2-step equations going into multi-step equations.